Do you have a dirty little secret? Welcome to the club.
And you're all invited.
The first rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club is tell everyone about the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
We're handing out memberships, free of charge.
Step up to the VIP line and let Dayna and Brimstone take you on a weekly ride of secrets and debauchery.
Now buckle up, Buttercup, because things are about to get heated on the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dirty Little Secrets Club. I'm Dayna Pereira.
And this is Brimstone.
Brim, if I look really, really tired, it's because I'm really, really tired.
Aw, you mean you're not mad at me? You're not angry with me? You're not going to give me a what
Well,
for?
who knows? I'm so tired at this point. I could just go off on anything. You might get grumpy Dayna. It's possible.
Oh. Well, if you're going to be grumpy
Nah.
Dayna, I'll be dopey Brim. There you go.
Or you might get delirious Dayna too. So
Okay. All right. I see where you're going there. All right. Well, what do you call it? I see we have a bunch of really interesting suckers this week. What do you call it? By the way, last week for those of you guys who tuned in on social media and responded to the clip that we pulled, thank you so much. That was awesome. Hopefully you are tuning in this week as well. We really appreciate it. What do you call it? Listen, I love to hear feedback from people. So keep sending us feedback. Yes,
it is fun. Yeah, and there was a lot of people. So the secret that we had posted from last week was the one with the person that had played with the condom and threw it in the trash. If you know, you know. If you don't know, go back and listen. And so people had some thoughts on that too. And one person said what I said, which was, okay, something else is going on in that relationship for that to be like such a trigger. And I was like, that's what it had to have been more. There's always more to the story, isn't there?
Yes. Usually there is. I guess, maybe not. I don't know. But, listen, if he's a real jealous guy and he saw that, I could imagine. You know what I mean?
For sure, but that would be more to the story. That would be he's an incredibly jealous guy. There's always you just got to dig a little deeper. There's always a little bit more. There's layers to every story we get, every secret we get. We don't always get the layers, but you know what? We have a good time imagining them and putting them out into the universe.
And we try peeling open that onion nice and easy.
That's
nice
right.
And easy.
Sometimes they make us cry.
Listen, the wife could have been loosey-goosey too. We don't know. Maybe
we don't know. That's
maybe
the
there was
fun
something
of it.
going on before, and then he found that and was like, well, it was already on the rocks. So
yep, that is the fun of it.
That poor kid has got therapy bills. I'm sure.
Out the wazoo, the wazooski.
So, I also want to touch base on the fact that you have another entrant into the home, Casa de Pereira, and it's not just one. It is a mass of 5 in total.
Yeah.
How did this happen? And you can explain it because it's for you to explain.
So
not for me.
What happened was
What happened was Go ahead there, young lady. What happened was
so on which day was I texting with you? I think it was Tuesday.
Okay.
On Tuesday, I am scrolling through Instagram. Mutt Scouts, the rescue that I volunteer with, had posted these 2 dogs that they were 6 weeks old. They were having seizures and they were about to be euthanized at the shelter. And I was like, oh, hell no. So I asked them, do you need me to go and get these dogs? And they were like, yes, please go get the dogs. And I was like, great. So I'm fueling up my car, getting ready to go, very last second, like legit about to drive away to drive up to Riverside and get these dogs. I get a text message saying, don't kill me, but we found somebody in Riverside to get the dogs. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to kill you. That is great. I don't have to drive 2 hours and somebody's going to save the dogs. This is fantastic.
Okay.
And they did. Later that day, they show me another dog that is in the shelter. She's filthy dirty. She looks so sad. And she has 4 2-day-old puppies.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, she was like, I don't know what to do. We need a foster for these. And I was like, if you need some place for them to land, I have a place, a safe space that I can put them. And so she was like, all right, I'm going to post them. I'm going to see if we can get any other volunteers. If we can, great. If not, they're coming to you. Cool. They didn't love any of or they weren't able to get any other volunteers to take these poor puppies. And so I ended up with a mama dog and her
Mm.
4 puppies. They're now 4 days old in my house. They're so teeny tiny and so cute. I don't have the fucking heart to let these dogs sit in a shelter at the
Wow.
beginning of their lives.
Wow. Yeah. That's very sweet of you and very kind. Stupid, but very loving and
Oh,
kind.
I'm
And
sure
I
my
can,
husband is ready
you know,
to like jump ship at this point.
just got a gold star. I'm giving you the gold
Thank
star.
you.
So you already start the episode with the gold star. We'll see if you lose it.
Okay, I'm sure it's mine to lose. It's mine to lose.
It's yours to lose. Well, at the end of the day, I think it's very courageous and heroic of you to do such a thing. And you know how I feel. That I love animals, and if I could save them all, I would. But
That's
it's
the
just
problem is that I am trying so desperately I'm like, I can't, I have 11 dogs under my roof right now. Technically, I mean, 4 of them are teeny
ugh.
tiny little babies, but and 4 of them are also, or 5 of them now, I guess, are teeny tiny little dogs.
Wait,
But
Canoodle's not gone yet?
Canoodle's not gone. I have to keep her until her next eye appointment, which is at the end of February.
Oh my god. Oh my
So
god. So basically what's happening is you're running a kennel. It must be so loud during the day and at night.
no, it's not. It's actually, you would be actually surprised. I mean, if somebody rings my doorbell, yeah, sure. It is earth shattering because all of the dogs are barking. But
Oh,
like
wow.
the mama is in the casita with her 4 puppies. So she's totally like off from the other dogs. She's not around them. And then the other dogs, the little dogs all have their own little play area that goes out into the courtyard that they run back and forth from. And then the big dogs are in the back, they're in the kitchen and they can run out into the yard and do their thing. So it's all very separate. It's organized chaos is what I like to call it.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that, but it's a lot for you.
It is a
Um,
lot. I am
Between that and
tired.
the kids and the podcasts and the this and the that and just
The
I
this and
get
the
it.
that and the yeah,
I
yesterday
get it.
Mason had his first college volleyball game. Joss
Like,
had hip hop at the same time. It was like
oh my
there's a
god.
lot going on in this house.
Oh my god. That is just wild. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And then you got to come and see my ugly mug.
I like it. It's a break. It's a breather for me.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't we get started so this way you can get yourself back to
Back to
reality over
puppies.
there. Yeah. I mean, look, it could be a worse way to die. You know what I mean? Being surrounded by puppies and suffocating.
I
I could
love
die on
it.
that hill.
I
I could
really
die on that
do.
hill.
I love it. I get all of the puppy kisses. They're always so happy to see you. All they want is like love, and there's no judgment coming off of them. Like I would just surround myself with puppies all the time.
Yeah. I love well look, Jasper comes home. When I come home and Jasper sees me and goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me happy and I love to sit
Yeah.
and snuggle him up. And I don't know if you've ever read this, but there's I mean more than one person, but there was one person specific that I always recall had written a thing online saying that you should not hug your dogs. Dogs do not like to be hugged.
Oh,
Have you
fuck
ever
you.
have you
Fuck
ever
you. My dogs
right?
love to be hugged.
That's what I'm saying. Jasper loves to be hugged. Roxy, before Jasper, loved to be hugged. Matter of fact, Jasper comes over when you get he comes up and stands on my knees
Mm-hmm.
until I get down and pick him up to give him a hug. Hello.
Dude, I just posted a video on Instagram the other day of I was sitting outside with Frank and I was petting him and then I stopped petting him and he's like taking his paw and nudging me like, yo, bitch, get back
Yeah.
here, pet me.
Yeah, what's going on?
And then
What's
I
wrong
would
with
pet
you?
him again and then I would stop and he'd nudge me again. Hey, excuse me, I am not done with my pets. You get back here.
That's crazy. How you divide your time between all of them, I have no idea, by the
Well,
way. I
that
have
is why
no
I'm so
idea.
tired because I make sure to divide my time between children, husband, pets. I have to make sure that I am spending a lot of time with all of them. It keeps me off my phone and it keeps me off the TV. So, I mean, I'm succeeding in the dividing attention, I think.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I think you can do it,
Yeah,
but yeah, I can imagine how tired you are. So I guess you want to get started?
I do. Yeah, you're up. You got the first one.
All right, here we go. So the first writer says, one time, my father and I were shopping at a Home Depot. I wandered around by myself and was not able to find a bathroom anywhere.
It's
I
in the
had to
back.
pee. It's in the back, usually. I had to pee really badly, so I literally found the most secluded back corner behind a pile of wood and pissed all over the floor. Years later, I pass that store every day and still remember it like it was yesterday. Wow.
Oh,
The golden streams in the back of the freaking Home Depot. Oh
well,
my goodness.
oh my God. This reminds me. Do you remember whenever Home
The very
Depot
first
got
day
the
of September. Oh,
bomb
sorry.
threat?
No. No.
This is the funniest thing I have ever heard. So a guy goes, there's a bomb threat called in, right? Not called into
Mm-hmm.
the store, but the police show up
Okay.
for a bomb threat. And the reason was because a guy at Home Depot went into the bathroom and warned everybody that he was about to drop a bomb.
Oh no. Can you imagine?
Police showed up.
Can you imagine the police showing up because you had to go and take a dump? Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yeah. He had to drop a bomb.
I can't I can't even imagine that. That's
It's the
hilarious.
funniest thing ever. And he was like, dude, I wasn't being like, I meant I had to drop a deuce. I had to take a dump. Like,
Oh,
I mean, I
God.
was legit dropping a bomb.
Can you imagine the guy was in the bathroom taking a crap and then the police come like barging in while he's in there? Like, what are you in there doing?
Oh my God.
I'm going to the bathroom. Like, I'm
I'm
dropping a
dropping
bomb
a
in here.
bomb, like I said.
Like, my God, like, what's wrong with these people? Oh God. So all right. Look, when you gotta go, you gotta go. It's what Annie said. You know what I
It's
mean?
so
When you gotta
nice for
go.
kids too, because they're just like they don't really care. They're small. And for a boy, is this a boy? I'm assuming it's a boy. If he
Well,
just like
if they
went
were
all over the
wandering around
place.
by themselves, I don't know how young they were. Could have been like
Yeah,
12, 13, 14.
I guess that's true too.
They just don't give a damn.
Oh my
They're like the
God.
honey badger. They don't give a fuck. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I've peed in some weird places before. In fact, if my neighbors happen to have cameras pointing towards the trail behind my house, um, every day I go for a walk, but I always I have a bladder of an 80-year-old woman. So occasionally I have to pop behind a bush and go to the bathroom. I got to pee back there. I don't poop
Well,
out in the woods, by the way. I don't want any leaves up my booty.
so you just admitted that you pee in on the road.
Occasionally,
I
yes,
hope
I
nobody who
do.
listens to the show finds where you do that.
My secret pee spot.
Yeah, that would be bad. That would be bad. you know. Oh my God. You don't want any tree sniffers.
Yeah.
Blah. Anyway, so yeah, this dude, I mean, look, whoever, whatever, I mean, it's kind of nasty. I get it. When you gotta go, but you could have found a bathroom.
Well, imagine
But
the employee that had to find the pee and clean it up,
yeah, that's I feel bad about
or the
that one.
person that bought the wood and didn't realize it until they got home.
That's true too. Can you imagine putting in like a new wall and then being like, why does it
What is
smell like piss in here? What is
is
it?
that
Why?
asparagus?
Oh, nasty. All right, you're up. You're up.
Okay, this one says, by the way, let me
Okay.
give some gratitude to Brimstone really quick because he has taken on the role of sifting through and putting secrets together. So I actually get the pleasure of being surprised now because I have not read these.
Enjoy.
Yeah. So, oh, hold on. Here we go.
Yeah.
I was sent to a summer camp one year and had the worst experience. I'm not quite sure if I had arachnophobia before this experience, but I clearly remember that all of the toilet stalls had dozens of daddy long leg spiders. Oh my God, I'm going back to childhood.
Blah.
Covering pretty much everything. I was pretty terrified, so I just kind of held it in for a couple of days. It was very uncomfortable, and I just couldn't hold it in anymore. I took a mad dash to the toilets, trying to hold it in, but as I stormed into the area where the showers were, it started to slide out. Oh my God. Without a thought, I pulled down my pants and dropped the biggest, sloppiest turd on the cold tile floor.
You nasty.
It was actually steaming. Oh my God. It was way too much to try cleaning up, so I left it. Not too long later, a decent sized group had formed around the outside. Inside, one of the poor counselors was covering his face with one hand and holding his nose with his other. No one suspected me.
Oh, holding a hose, it says. A
Oh,
hose.
holding a hose. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Same thing.
I told you, delirious Dayna is in the house, okay?
No, I see where you get the H and the N could be,
Oh
wow.
man.
When I read this one, I started giggling, especially since the first one was a pee one and this one was a poop one.
We love the
But
pee and poop ones for sure.
yeah, they're just sloppy and gross. But funny. This is quite amusing and messed up all at once. I think it's hilarious that this kid, held it in for a couple of days. I can't hold it in for more than like a couple minutes sometimes, where it's just going, blah, 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 blah,
Maybe it was a travel thing. Like whenever I travel, I'll go like 3, 4 days where I just like it's just not coming. I don't
That's
know if
true.
it's, the airplane or whatever. I get travel shyness. I don't know what it is. The thing that took me back though were the daddy longleggers. I
Mm,
remember in Pittsburgh, we had like this. I told you about the little island in the middle of the river that my dad was a part of that we would go to
right.
all the time. Fucking daddy longleggers everywhere. If you went to the bathroom, there were daddy longleggers in every damn corner. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I hated those things.
So gross. Like, and they're not even like the worst spiders. Like, they won't even bother you.
Yeah,
You
they
know, those
mind their own business.
they don't bother you, those guys. I mean, you don't obviously that you still don't want to mess with them, but you don't realize that till later in life, where you're going, oh, they don't bother you. It's the little creepy ones that bother you. You know what I mean?
It's the
Those are the ones.
thicker ones that I'm like,
Oh,
get away from me.
listen, I don't want anybody to call PETA on me. And I love animals. I don't consider insects animals. I do believe that every life is precious, but all life is precious. But at the end of the day, when there's a spider that's this thick, you guys can't see, it's like a 50-cent piece. Okay, it's thick and it's in a web that's like literally almost in front of your front door.
Mm-mm,
Okay, I'm
mm-mm.
sorry, you gots to go.
You
You
got
gots
to
to
go.
go. Now, before I got that little electric racket, which might it sounds awful saying
Wait,
it,
with flies or with spiders?
you could use that for any insects. But before I got that, I had like a big piece of wood that it was like it was pretty straight. So I used it like a baseball bat anytime one of those things were there, and literally I would swing and it would, and you heard the knock. It was like, you know what I mean,
Uh-huh.
and the thing would go flying. And
Oh my God.
strangely enough, at least a day or two later, it would be back or another one would be just
Or
take
its
its place.
brother was coming back to get you,
Unbelievable. And I'm like, what the
seeking
hell?
revenge.
Yeah, did I tell you? Did I tell you that like what was it a few weeks ago when I was in Jersey signing at that con? My what do you call it? I woke up in the morning and I had a spider bite on my ear and on my freaking cheek. Sons of bitches. I'm
Ah,
not playing with these spiders anymore, man. That's
uh-huh.
messed up. And the worst part about it is I didn't even become Spider-Man. I had no special powers. I had no
Ah,
nothing.
that is
I couldn't
bullshit.
dangle upside down. I didn't have
Ugh.
spider webs coming out of anywhere. You know what I mean? Very
Can
upset.
imagine if you, you know, did a little splooge and just spider webs went.
How great would that be? Now you're stuck on the wall. You ain't going nowhere, bitch. But no, those little daddy long legs, they don't bother me.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is the kids used to take them, and I always used to think that was awful. They take them and they pull the legs off of them.
Oh, I remember that.
That's like
I'm
awful.
probably guilty of doing that whenever I was little, not
Yeah.
whenever I got older. But do you remember on lightning bugs, people would like take the asses out of the lightning bugs and like where it is a
Whoa, it's
ring or like draw with. Yeah, there's.
yeah, I could never do that.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
could
I'm definitely guilty of doing that as a child, also.
I
So,
would never do that. Not I would never hurt or harm on purpose. If it's in the house, like moth in the house or a fly or whatever, you're mine. I'm sorry. You know,
hmm.
I have the little salt gun. What do you call it? I have the racket. No, I have an arsenal. No, you cannot be in the
An
especially
arsenal.
in certain areas. Like certain times you get have those cave crickets. Those things. Have you ever seen them? They're
The
like
fuck is a
freaking.
cave cricket?
They're huge. They're like huge, and they're I just no, and they f with you. They f with you.
Oh,
They f with you. They know that you can't get them. You know what I
that's
mean?
so
Because they're
funny.
too quick.
Yeah.
So what do you call it? The it gets crazy. It gets crazy. It's like it's like you got to put a hit out on the cave crickets. Uh, Jasper's pretty good at it. Usually, if he sees it or he can get his little paws on it, he does.
Yeah.
But what do you call it? No, not good, not good. What I did do when I was younger, and this is not necessarily, it wasn't necessarily a good thing, but I did it. Um, we did a thing called insect wars, and my grandfather. See, back then the bullets, because he used to work at the range and everything. He was,
Uh,
he was a rifleman and everything. So the bullets would come in these plastic containers that would slide open and slide closed. Okay, so they were like really cool looking things, and I used to have a whole bunch of them because I used to
uh-huh.
sit and play with them. So what I would do is the larger ones sometimes had like a centerpiece that you could slide in and out. So I would go and find different bugs, and I would put like one bug on one side and one on the other, close the top, and then I would leave it for a minute and then pull out in the middle and see what would happen between the two of them.
Oh
And they
my
would
God.
and some of them would fight to the death. I had a spider and a bumblebee at one point. I had a what do you call it? I know I had
You were a fucking gladiator in a past
yeah,
life.
it was pretty crazy. We had a couple of ants and like something else. We had an armadillo bug and something like there was a whole bunch of different things that we would like stick into my friend Victor and I. So we weren't the best, but I mean, we were kids. We didn't know any better.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, you're curious whenever you're a kid. I did dumb shit with insects whenever I was a kid. Never like cats or dogs or like
no,
no mammals, just
no.
insects.
But I wouldn't. But here's the thing: is like I wouldn't harm them myself. I'd put them in and see what happened between with
Oh yeah,
nature.
I was
So,
ripping asses out of fireflies, so
oh, you're awful. You're awful,
I
Dana
know.
Pereira. You're
I
awful.
know. I know.
Um, all right. So should I move on to the next one? What do we
Sure.
think about this poopy pants?
I
I don't think we
mean,
even
but
spoke about him.
it's not even a poopy pants. It's it slid out. That is another thing that has never happened to me. I've never just like had a poop slide out in public.
Really? You never
Never.
sharded? You never
I,
sharded?
I
You
mean,
had to have sharded.
maybe if I was sick, but
Everybody has sharded.
I I have listen, I have phenomenal control over my butthole.
Oh, I know you've discussed this on many occasions.
So
This is one aspect of your life that, as your friend, I did not need to know.
yeah,
But that. But therefore, we are on the Dirty Little Secrets Club, and things have come out. So I
phenomenal
understand
control.
phenomenal
So
control.
I don't recall really any. I recall one time whenever I was like on my deathbed sick with the flu,
Okay,
and that is the only time that I can recall that
fair
something
enough.
like that has happened.
Like yesterday or the day before, I ate and I was like, I didn't crap myself. I'm saying, like, I literally leaped onto the toilet and it came out like freaking gangbusters. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
and that's wonderful when it happens like that, except when it hurts your belly. But,
But it wasn't on the tile, right? It wasn't on
but
the
it was not
tile.
on the tile. Like, how are you going to, like, you couldn't have waited. Listen, he did that crap on purpose because he didn't want to go in with all the spiders. That's what it is. He didn't want to go with the spiders.
Maybe.
So he did it on the floor. I get it. I went to Camp Eisner and I remember it being very, very similar. You know what I mean? Where, you got all this crap out there and, you don't want to go in there, but, you have to go pull out your
Plus,
freaking
it's
flip
usually like
flops.
cold and stuff, like,
Yeah.
ugh. And his
Pull
poop
out your
was
flip
steaming, so
flops.
it had to have been cold.
Yeah. Pull out your flip flops. Start smacking things. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Anyway, I think it's messed up that they let the counselor clean it up. That's what I meant. I think is messed up.
Part of the gig. It's
Anyway,
it's their rite of passage.
all right, I'm gonna go on to the next one. We ready?
Ready.
All right, here we go. The next writer says, in my senior year of high school, I put an open milk carton in the ceiling of my English class right before spring break. When we came back from break, the entire classroom smelled like a rotting corpse. It was awful. The principal was so pissed off and couldn't figure out who did it, so he blamed another kid who was known as a prankster and suspended him. I graduated with high honors while he wasn't allowed to graduate with the rest of the class. The suspension resulted in the kid missing too much, so he had to go to summer school and get his GED instead. Don't cry over spilled milk. Wow.
Ooh,
That was pretty
savage.
savage. That's pretty savage.
So
Um
how the fuck do they just like suspend somebody without any proof? That is it. I mean, I get it. This probably back in the day, I'm assuming, possibly, maybe, but there's senior pranks. Did you guys have senior pranks at your school?
I don't remember many of the senior pranks from back when anymore. Like and back then, I got my GED. I didn't finish with
Mm-hmm.
everybody else. I did. It's not because of anything I did wrong. It's
Because you
because I
was a
went to
bad
private school.
boy.
No, well, I was, but I wasn't. No, I had gone to private school, and the private school wound up. They were going to start closing down. So rather than staying there and graduating early, my mother pulled me out and she put me back into the public school. So what do you call it? Like the language I was taking Hebrew, and they don't Hebrew is as a language. They couldn't give me what
Oh,
I needed in order
your
for graduate. Right.
credits.
So I had to
Yeah.
take 3 years of Spanish into. And yeah, it was nuts. And the Miss Guasca was her name. Hated me. She freaking hated me. And what do you call it? So that was a pain in the ass. Also, I think it was either social studies or something else. There was something else that didn't line up because I took something else in the private school. I don't remember because it was a
Yeah, that
while back.
didn't transfer over to the public
Didn't
school
transfer over.
curriculum.
Right. So I had to do like 2 years and 3 years and two rather. And what do you call it? And it was not working out. So I
So
had
no
to I
senior prank.
yeah, they wouldn't let me graduate at that time with my class. So I did not have I never got to walk a senior graduation, and I
Yeah.
got my GED. So I actually feel for this person, although I'm not the one who got into the I'm not the one that got into trouble, like this one, but I did it because of that situation. So
Dude, I've heard of some crazy senior pranks. Like, I mean, like letting mice go in the hallways, um, shoving shrimps in the lockers. Like, there's so many weird, crazy senior pranks, and
I helped
sometimes they get pretty out of control.
I helped Dylan with the senior prank.
Oh, you
Um,
did?
yeah. So for his senior prank at his high school, well, there were a couple different things that were going on all at once. So what we did was very it was easy. We didn't want to do anything that was going to get him or anybody else into trouble.
Right.
But what do you call it? So we went around for like 2 weeks collecting all the little signs that go into the grass, like everything from real estate signs to mosquito delito to this one to that one, all these things. And we had a few kids, and we had literally hundreds of these things, if not a couple thousand, and we filled the entire front lawn of the school with all of these signs, just like all like little wooden cardboard cutouts, all everything you
Yeah,
could think of, and it was all there. And what do you call it? And I have video of it. I'll have to find it and send it
that
to you.
is
Yeah.
hilarious. And then you're just putting out an announcement like, come get your sign. Are you missing a sold sign? Come get it.
So yeah, so that was so him and a couple of the guys did that, and then another at the same night, they did a bunch of the people had like a giant tarp. I don't know where they got it from, but it was like a giant white thing, and then they spray painted like wieners on it and like foul things, and they hung it off of the the risers
Uh
outside.
huh.
So
Yeah.
what do you call it? So they had that to deal with, and then they had our thing to deal with, and
Ah,
literally
the original dick pic.
they were so, yeah, right. They were so pissed because they were, even though it was like a harmless one, they didn't let anything go into school. They would like, and they were going to do
Yeah.
some messed up things. They were going to get like a pig. They were going to do like all different things. I'm like, you can't do that. You're going to get in a lot
Yeah,
of trouble.
nothing that'll get you arrested,
Yeah.
okay?
So, but crazy enough, like nobody even got to really see it because before they even started school, they had the custodians out and they pulled all the stuff off. I was so pissed. I was pissed because I drove him to school on purpose. I was like, I want to
Yeah.
see this. You know what I mean? Like I want to see people's faces.
Ah.
But it was like when I say there was a lot, it was the entire picture a huge high school and the entire front lawn was covered with signs, like
Wow.
covered signs, lawn ornaments. Like I said,
Uh-huh.
it was pretty crazy.
Oh, I'd love to see a flamingo
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Crazy stuff. Anyway, that being said, what do you call it? Yeah, no, I feel bad. I feel for the kid who had to get the GED for that because that's
Yeah.
unfair. They should have been able to graduate with the rest of their class, but
I go both ways on this because I'm like, yeah, totally. I feel for him. But also, if he was the person that they immediately were like, it was you, I wonder what his background was that made them say it was you immediately.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like maybe he was up to some shenanigans beforehand.
Oh, lots.
Yeah.
Apparently, because they said that he was known as a prankster. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming, if he was known as the prankster, then that's probably why they went. But like, you can't. How are you going to go after somebody if you don't know the facts and and people, unless they were like, oh, he definitely did it. This guy did it, or this girl did it, whatever it was.
Well, okay. So I think I may have told this story on here before. I am not sure. But
Okay.
whenever I was in high school, there was a girl, and her and I did not get along. And I was a petty bitch back in high school. I hadn't done my learning and growing and, all of that fun stuff. I didn't unbad just yet.
You're still
So,
petty.
yeah. So I either wrote like bitch or cunt or something on her locker. And it was before they had cameras and stuff. So she told the principal that it was me because she just assumed. And
Okay.
then I went into the principal's office and he was like, "Did you do this?" And I was like, "Nope." And he was like, "We
Okay.
think you did this." And I was like, "Prove it." And they couldn't do anything because there was absolutely zero proof that I was the person that
Yeah.
did anything.
You can't prove it, then you shouldn't have any.
I mean, it was
issues.
100% me. I totally did it and I should have been in trouble for it.
Oh,
But I walked in
oh.
there like fucking Law and Order. I'm like, prove it, prove it.
That's messed up. That's messed up. Well, hey,
Yeah.
look, it is what it is. But you know, hey, it is. I did. What else can I say?
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad for the person. They should have been like, prove it. But who knows? Who the hell? How long ago this was?
Yeah.
No idea. Like I
Yep.
know when I was a kid, they didn't give a damn. If they thought
No.
you did it, that's
You're
it.
in
You've
trouble.
done
That's
it.
it. Yeah, exactly.
The teachers used to spank the kids back when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I had one teacher, Mrs. Haynes, who used to take, she had I might have told this on the story on the year before, but she used to have a huge ruler, like a thick ruler. It was like a yardstick. And every time, especially this one kid, Sean, what do you call it, he used to get into trouble all the time.
Yeah.
So, like she would take the thing, she'd put him over her knee and she'd smack him with it. Okay.
Oh
Like
my God.
right in the ace. So again, now mind you, I'm not even 50, I'm close to 50, but how different it is from then until now.
Well,
But
yeah.
one day she took it. She was so mad because he said something, he did something, whatever. She hit him so hard, the ruler broke. And everybody in the class, I'll never forget it. We all gasped. It was because we were like, oh my God,
Dislike.
that ruler broke. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God. And his face had a smile from ear to ear, like, ha ha ha, bitch. And she was like, ah. So she took her hand. I'll
Oh my
never forget this.
God.
She started beating the snot out of his rear end with her hands, and because he smiled, I don't know what it was, but it triggered her. And man, she beat the ever living snot out of his rear end. She didn't get fired. She didn't get in trouble. Nothing happened. Nothing
See, I
happened.
I missed that era by a hair.
And she was a
I'm
great
looking
teacher. I
at
did like her.
42 this year, and I went to a Catholic school. I
Yeah.
should have been beaten by a ruler, but I missed it by a hair. By a hair. They weren't allowed to beat us anymore by the time I was in school.
Not fun.
Yeah.
I didn't get hit. I personally didn't get hit, but my God. And then in the private school, the what do you call it? The one time the guy did I was a wise ass when I first got there. And the band teacher was old military and just a whack job. And he had come after me at one point, and I told because I was like, I'm not gonna say that I wasn't a bad kid in that, when I was
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the class. But he shouldn't have been coming after me. He came at me, and I sidestepped him and tossed him into the wall. You know what I mean? He didn't get fired for coming after me. You know what I mean? And I didn't get in trouble for sidestepping him and throwing him into the wall. And I warned him.
Oh,
I said,
well, there you go.
You come at me again, I'm gonna freaking squash your ass."
Yeah.
But my friend Joel, there was a teacher that had been there from Israel, and Joel used to piss everybody off. And what do you call it? He was short. He's grown into his age now. So what do you call it? The teacher literally grabbed him by the throat and threw him up against the chalkboard and up high with his hand, holding him by the one hand where I had to get
Wonder
involved.
our fucking generation is so fucked in the head.
Yeah, yeah. And now what do you call it? Now the guy did get let go after that, but they didn't arrest
Dude,
him.
our
They didn't
parents
arrest
just
him.
like let people abuse us left and right.
I'll give it if somebody pulled that crap on my kids, I'd break their freaking neck. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's a subject that would take us down a rabbit hole. We don't got time for that.
Truth. All right, you're up, sister.
All right. I used to pass wind into a little tin box over and over for a full year.
How nice. For those of you who are not watching the video of this, you should have just seen Dana's face.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Proceed.
It was a tin some Christmas cookies came in with a picture of Santa on it. Every time I had to fart, I lifted the lid, put it in the box, and quickly closed it.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you okay over there? You having a hard time breathing?
Before long, the box was successfully weaponized and ready for deployment.
The wording. The wording.
When my sister would piss me off, I'd steal her expensive gloves and toss them into the box to marinate overnight. I'd then discreetly return them. My sister would continually complain to my mother about how badly they smelled and that they'd sold her a bad pair and she wanted new ones. She was like, hell no. So she just kept wearing them till they ripped. So basically, I farted into my sister's hands for a year, never told anyone.
That's wonderful. That's the kind of petty revenge you like. That's your
I do
type
love
of petty
some petty revenge. The thought, the childlike wonder of a brain that is like, I'm gonna fart in this box every day for a year. Like,
can you imagine?
and then you just start tossing items in there to marinate. Like, now here's what I wonder, because I don't know the science behind farting into a box. So,
Okay.
like, does that actually work? Does that happen? Or was it also the childlike wonder of a brain that is like, oh no, they totally smelled different, but they didn't smell different? Because I don't know the science behind farting into a box.
Well, I can tell you that, like okay, like a cushion, like a seat cushion.
Uh-huh.
If you sit in a seat every single day and your
just
ass
fart
is
into
ripe,
it.
or if you're farting into it, if your ass is ripe, it's the stink is going to be in there unless you clean it out because it stays in there. So I got to believe that if you're dropping it in there and you're shutting it right away, it's just sitting and marinating until the inside is just, just smells like it. Again,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I've never tried it,
Yeah.
but I can tell you, like in on cloth, you know what I mean. Here, if you're say,
It's like walking into a room that smells like sex.
yeah, yeah, you know, or what do you call it? Like I can see, you know, sitting and a homeless person. You know what I mean? Who craps themselves all the time, and what do you call it? And their pants, or they're passing wind all the time, or whatever. Their pants eventually smell. It never gets changed. It smells, right?
Yeah, but there's like something for it to hold on to.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just banging around in the walls of the thing.
Maybe he just
Maybe
had
they
like
put something
cotton
else in
balls
it.
inside the box and he would just fart into the box. I'm
I
just
think we
making
need
shit
more.
up now.
I think we need more information. Is what we
Maybe
need.
there was still Christmas cookies in there. You're just farting into the
Oh,
Christmas cookies.
how nasty! How crazy is that, though? But if the sister was complaining that the thing smelled, I'm assuming that, maybe I don't know. Maybe when
Yep.
he farted in there, like was it bare ass? Did you get little nuggets of stank in there? Like,
His sister like wipes her eyes with her gloves and then she has pink eye.
oh, gross, gross. I was thinking about that. Oh God, no. But seriously, that's nasty. And the way they put it here, marinate overnight
I love it.
and
I love it. Ready
weaponize.
for deployment.
Yeah, yeah. Like, bro,
This is a
bro.
kid that played with those little toy green army soldiers.
Yes, yes, for
He was
sure.
farting on them too. He threw them in the box.
Oh my
He
God.
dropped a bomb.
Oh my God. I mean, have you ever seen? Okay, so like that. The gas is from your rear end. Have you ever seen somebody light it on fire? You've seen it, right?
I I've seen movies. I don't know that I've ever seen like a real
Oh,
thing of it.
oh, I've seen it, and people light up their ass hair and everything.
Oh
Like
my
I
god.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you can legitimately do it if you bend over and you set a
I
freaking
mean, I'm going to
a little
pass on
fire.
that,
Oh, I know.
but
For some reason, I have a feeling that you will try this because you're you.
yeah.
Um,
No, I
and
need my butthole to keep being as good as my butthole is. Okay,
there
I'm
you
not
go.
going to put it in danger.
Fair enough. So, Joe, I wanted to try something out. I had like an experiment, but
Yeah.
no, seriously, you could either light a what do you call it, a lighter or a candle. You set it up and you fart into it. You ever use like the
Looks like methane or
like the
something, right?
hairspray? Yeah, you ever
Yeah.
use the hairspray and with the lighter and just you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
create a. It's the same thing except it's just a different type of yeah, yeah. It can burn right into your asshole though.
Human
So
beings are such curious beings. They
I
really
had
are.
some
Like
crazy friends.
there's some good stuff going on in our brains. I love it.
Listen, being in entertainment as long as I've seen some shit. You
Oh,
know what I
I'm
mean?
sure. I am
Seen some
sure.
shit. So,
Yep.
um,
Good
you have
times.
you have anything else to say about Fartsy over here?
No. Nope.
Fartsy Doolittle. Maybe this is the same person who did the dump in the what do you call it at the
Listen,
camp.
I may or may not get myself a tin box just to find out if this theory is true.
That's so nasty. You might see. That's the thing. See,
I'll
you
talk to
wouldn't
you
do
in a year.
you wouldn't do the other one, but you'd do the tin box. Like,
I'll
all
do the
right,
tin box.
well,
I'm just not trying to put my butt on fire.
yeah. See, the tin box, you just keep tooting in it. You know what I mean?
I'll let you know. Keep
And
you
then
posted.
basically right before you give it to somebody, throw some cookies in there, and then
Oh
they
my
open it.
god.
They
Uh-huh.
open it up. They have gas cookies.
Best
Oh,
cookies you'll ever have.
that's so gross. Anyway, I think that's about all the time we have for the Dirty Little Secrets Club. What do you call it? We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you so much for tuning in every single week. Day, you want to let them know the one and only rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club?
Yes, guys, the first rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club is to tell everyone about the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
Again, we appreciate you. We love you. And we'll see you again, God willing, next week.
Promised land. You think we want something from you? You got another thing coming.